26 January 2023. Today I am in a foul mood. Our country is falling apart, and it is falling apart at a rate that is absolutely astounding. The big problem I have is that it is undeniable. We have a lot of idiots, unqualified, uneducated, inexperienced people in charge of our lives, in charge of our country. People that does not have the mental capacity to tie their shit decisions to bigger shit results. They cannot see they don't see the connection between an idiotic decision and a disaster created by that fucking decision. They cannot see it. I listened to Cully from Forum where he's talking about the pebble bed generators. Those things are being used in China and in Russia. They have started building the smaller nuclear generator plants. And they are beginning to do it now in America. But if you listen to him carefully, he has an investor that wants to erect a small plant like that. But he has problems. First of all, apparently the licensing procedure will take 1.5 years. What the fuck is that? 1.5 years. We are in a power starvation mode. But those elected officials, they have 1.5 years to make a decision on something that can bring relief. Why that 1.5 years? I'll tell you why. Because in that 1.5 years they're going to explore each and every fucking avenue where they can steal. Because that is all they are interested in. Then I listened to another guy, and he talked about the solar plants and the wind farms and so forth. And he said something there that I have mentioned previously in some of my Skidmarks. Our national grid is not capable of picking up 1,000 megawatts in Uppington. You cannot do it. So you're going to build that hell of a fucking solar farm there, and you're going to go where with your fucking electricity? Carry it with buckets to wherever. A better solution. You go to a town and you say, listen, we want to invest in power for your town, but we will invest on the following conditions. First of all, we take over full control of the distribution in the town. In other words, all the users pay us. And yes, we will make a little bit of a provision for you for a commission. But that's it. You've got no other role to play in it at all. That 4 hectares or 5 hectares or 10 hectares of municipal land lying there on your eastern side, we want a lease on that land, and we are going to put up a solar farm there and 2 windmills. Now you've got a problem with that. And they make the decision, and they do the fucking deal, and there's no transmission lines involved. A small line from the fucking plant into the town or into the city or what. That is how you solve problems. You don't solve problems with this fucking central control of everything. The centralizing is a bullshit story. It fucks up everybody's lives. Because those few selected cadres sitting there, corrupt idiots what they are, sitting there in the decision-making positions, are only there to steal. There's a question, why does South Africa not have Starlink service yet? Simple, because the fucking ANC wants 61% of the company that will control the Starlink in South Africa. And there's no way Musk is going to give it to them. So he said, fuck you, we don't supply you with service. This is where we are today. This is where the ANC voters got us today. Look at the idiocy yesterday. The DA protests against the fucking power failures and blackouts and Eskom raping. And what does the fucking ANC youth, the ANC also called for a fucking mass action against it. But at the DA's protest, the fucking ANC blocks them from delivering their messages and delivering their papers and what? What the fuck is that? That is idiots, low IQ, uneducated, 30% pass fucking idiots. And they're fucking it up for everybody. Look at this. Africa, and look at the top picture. A squatter camp. Poverty and squalor. Then, the world donates 1.4 trillion. And look at the second picture. Fuck all has changed, but there's 2 Land Rovers there. That is how they work. Listen to what this guy says. Almost all Africans were better off with whites, aka colonizers. The entire Africa was better off with and under colonizers. That is under so-called liberation movement. Then it is under so-called liberation movements. Think about that. And he continues. Unfortunately, that's the brutal truth about Africa and its struggling citizens. Zim from a food basket under British colony to a food beggar under the kleptocratic ZANU-PF. Some have cited sanctions as their lame excuse for forgetting that SA was once sanctioned under the NP but thrived. Realities. Then look at this shit. In the US African Summit, a memorandum was signed that will have governments of Zimbabwe, Zambia, and the DR Congo surrender the supply chain and procurement of copper and cobalt to American control. What the fuck is that? The white settlers they had in those countries were building the fucking country. They were creating jobs, they were creating industry, they were planting food. Now these stupid fucking freedom fighters, they give it to the Americans. And you think the Americans is going to treat the citizens kindly? They're going to steal them blind. That's what they will do. But that is stupid fucking idiots in charge. When will they understand that they are not a mental match for these snakes from the West? Then you get this fuck up. Ghana has suspended payments on external debt as an interim emergency measure, effectively plunging the debt-ridden country into default. A concerned investor criticized a lack of clarity in the decision. Between 70 and 100% of government revenue goes directly towards servicing debts, with inflation rocketing as high as 50% in November, while international reserves dropped to $6.6 billion by the end of September, from $9.2 billion a year earlier. Of a total $55 billion public debt, at the end of Q3, just over half was external, including $13.1 billion in Eurobonds. There again, that fucking leadership. Stupid idiots. No fucking education. They went and they made all these fucking loans. They took loans from the IMF specifically to transform their fucking electricity system, where they were electricity exporters, into a green fuck up that ruined the electricity network in Ghana. But those stupid fucking dimwits in charge are doing it. And the population takes the shit. So it's right, they must suffer. And then there is this. 2 policemen, 1 civilian killed during the militants' attack in Kenya. 2 police officers and 1 civilian have been killed as Al-Shabaab fighters have attacked a service vehicle in eastern Kenya. The militants used a grenade launcher against a police car and engaged in a firefight, local officials say. The Al-Qaeda-linked group is seeking to pressure Kenya to drop defense cooperation with Somalia as part of the African Union-mandated peacekeeping force. This is a fucking serious issue in Africa. And for those stupid fucking ANC supporters in South Africa, these bliksemse terrorists are active in Mozambique, on our border. Who the fuck is going to protect you? You decided to tell the whites to fuck off. Now, who is going to protect you when these fucking terrorists stream over the border here at Komati? Will the EFF fighters come and support you and protect you? The fucking things they will run into the fucking sea in Cape Town. But the population of South Africa is going to pay dearly for this racism, affirmative action, BEE, racist shit that the politicians have pumped into your heads. I can take you to 1,000 fucking farms where the farmers and the workers work together in harmony and no shit. I can take you to 1,000 fucking towns where whites can walk into any shop and buy anything and everybody will service them. But if you listen to that fucking Malema and you listen to this idiot of a president of ours, they tell you that you must hate whites. Fuck them. That's my story. And you better tell them to fuck off, or you the voter, you are going to suffer. Yes, as I'm hot now. Please give me a like and a subscribe and a share. But people must hear these things. They don't want to hear the truth.